Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg. And this is Ger Can Get It. This week, another two-parter where we talk about shit that I don't want to feel as relevant as it does. How about that? You guys? Welcome back after Christmas.
How about them apples?
I have nothing for you. Insert intro. Insert the theme song now.
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to second face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it. Ger can get it.
I hate that every time I listen to this, like to do like an audio check, like after I put it all together, I always end up like I get to the theme song and I'm like, this is my favorite part every time. The stuff before and after the theme song, I could take it or leave it. But I'm like, oh, I like this song about him being like sweaty and horny.
We do have a really good theme song.
We have a remarkably good theme song. It costs very little. I'm really very pleased with it. Like I want to have her make like a whole album of songs. We can release it. Okay, so this week we are, as I said, we're doing a two-parter. We're talking about two of Ger's. It's like two mini-sodes, basically. Mashed together.
Cameos.
So, two itty bitty roles that we despite them being itty bitty, we have so much to talk about. So the first one that we're going to discuss this week is called Pavane. It's from 2008. It was a short film made by writer / screenwriter Paul Quarrington to promote a book that Paul Quarrington wrote. It does not, in fact, have the same plot as the book that Paul Quarrington wrote. And it was submitted as part of a film festival called the Book Shorts Moving Stories Film Festival, which, as far as I can tell, lasted only that one time. And then, as has become a characteristic, it shut down immediately after Ger participated in it.
It wasn't just the last episode. It was literally the one and only film festival.
Yeah.
But like shorts based on books is such a niche category. I'm not sure where they saw that going off to.
Oh, let me give you. Okay, so the one place online where I could find any kind of a description of this film festival said that it was short films based on literary works. And in my head, I was like, okay, novels, because that makes the most like one-to-one sense for me. No. Works of fiction, nonfiction, and poetry.
Oh. Okay, so it could be based on a poem.
Just, yeah. Or possibly like something to advertise an entire book of poetry where you just go like full avant-garde. Because it turns out the relation between the movie and the book doesn't really need to be there. It's just whatever you fucking felt like, just whatever. So neither of us have read the book that this is based on, which the book that it's based on is called The Roving. It's by Paul Quarrington. I think it came out around the same time, so 2008. This writer has now passed away. He had lung cancer, but apparently he was pretty prodigious. He wrote like a lot of episodes of TV. And the book that he wrote that this short film is based on, sort of not really, is also itself semi-autobiographical.
Okay.
So there's like 3 layers of whatever. So the first time that I saw this, I had no idea that it was part of this book festival, because nothing, like we'll upload it to the YouTube page. You'll see there's like nothing that indicates what this is, and I found it so deeply confusing. So when you
I did not know it was happening the first time, and then I like blanked out. And then at the end, when Ger puts the glasses on to show you which character he is, I was like, wait, which character was that? And then I had to rewind it and rewatch it because I couldn't remember which the glasses kid was.
It is a little bit like The Breed, where the first time it like knocks you in the head and you're like, huh? And then the second time you're like, oh, okay, that's fine, I guess.
That? Yeah, except there weren't moments where I was like, oh, I would watch it again for this. The whole thing was so horrifying. I feel like this is one of the exceptions where we could actually walk through this because it's like it is 5.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend,
and
I took notes.
I want to talk about the Friends ladies who are like, yeah, play the Friends theme song.
You mean us? You mean the part where we have a cameo in this? Because
they're drunk at the piano. And he's like, does anybody want to request? And the one guy's like, yes, I would like this obscure piece of classical piano music. And they're like, dude, play the Friends theme song.
You're not underselling it. You're selling it exactly correct. So
yes.
Yeah. So the whole short takes place in a bar/restaurant where there is a pianist in the corner with like much too much hair, but we're just gonna like put a pin in that for a second. So he's sitting at the piano and there are two drunk women who are maybe in their 30s, and it's like 2008, so they're wearing 2008 going out dresses. So I want you to think neon, I want you to think one shoulder each, tiny eyebrows, very drunk. And my favorite part of this is Ger, obviously prolific actor. The actor who plays his brother, the pianist, also, I thought I knew him from something else. I looked him up. I was confused about who he was, but he also has a prolific career. So they're like professionals. They've done this a lot. The two women, I will admit, I did not look them up, but somehow everybody in this is acting like at a 1. They're acting at like a 1 out of their skill set of like 10, and I can't figure it out because you only have to act for 5 minutes. 4 minutes of which are just fake piano playing. So like, I know, but everyone's like, phoning it in would be generous. They're all like,
the women are like, we watched so for Cinematic Anarchy, where we do a lot of movies, we watched a movie called The Last Sleigh Ride for Christmas. And it was like an indie movie where I think they rented an Airbnb, put on some Spirit Halloween Christmas costumes and just roamed around. That's where the women were.
That's about the
where the
level
women
they're bringing.
Yeah, they were at the bar and they were like, "Hey, we need 2 chicks to sit at the piano. Do you guys want to be it?" And they were like, "Yeah." They just walked
You have
over
to pretend to be drunk, and they were like, "But we actually are already drunk. Is that cool?" And
Slam dunk.
Like, perfect.
I know.
They're coming in. I don't know how to explain like. They're coming in, if they were actually drunk and then told to be in a film and then act drunk, that is the level of drunkenness that they portray. Somehow it feels like they are actually drunk, but they're not selling the drunkenness to me. Like it's not good. It's very not good. But anyways, they're sitting there and they're like, shut up, play the song from Friends because we're friends and we want to do the And the guy at the piano's like, hard pass. What about like actual music? Could you like ask me to play actual music? And they're like, how about the theme song to Cheers? I was like, what? Okay. So then Ger is sitting at the piano, and he keeps asking for the Pavane by a composer named Maurice Ravel, who apparently is a real composer. I don't know anything about music. I am not cultured and classy, okay? I'm doing the best I can here. But Maurice Ravel, real composer. The Pavane is a real Pavane. And a Pavane, because I didn't know what that was either, because audience, as I just said, I am not a classy music person.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know what a Pavane was. He's like, the Pavane. And I was like, I don't know what that is, sir. Please slow down. So a Pavane is a slow processional dance that was common in the 16th century. So this song is a particular Pavane composed by Maurice Ravel, who is a much more recent composer. I know he was still around in 1900-ish. I don't recall when this Pavane was written, but like around 1900, he's alive. So not the 16th century. And it's the Pavane for a dead princess, which in French was the Pavane. It's not, they don't actually call it, it's not princess in French. It's like enfant defunct or something, because then Ger's character has a whole thing where he's like, well, actually defunct doesn't mean dead. Wikipedia's like, no, dead for princess who is dead. Like an infanta princess who is dead. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And I tried to look up, like, is there any significance behind the music itself? Like the title, like who is the dead princess? And apparently Maurice Ravel was like, I don't know, man. I just liked the way that those words sounded together. So I'm like, cool. All right. So as much thought as went into the movie, went into naming the music. Okay. And I love that. So in this thing called Pavane, where Ger sits there the entire 5 minutes going, please play me the Pavane. Do you know what we never hear? The Pavane. It's like the pianist plays 2 bars and then it goes, and it just shuts off. If you want to hear it, you can. It's if you go to the Wikipedia page for Maurice Ravel and you find the stub about the Pavane for a dead princess Infanta, whatever, you click on it. There's a little like embedded wave file because we live in the year 1995, and you click on it and you can hear the Pavane. And really all I could find about it was, I guess Pavanes in general are pretty slow, but this guy wanted his to be like the slowest ever, and people would play it. He would go, no, not slow enough. Like he just wanted it to be like the most funereal pace of music, even though, as I said, a Pavane, like they talk about it being a processional dance. So it's supposed to be, for dancing and not actually a funeral procession. So I don't know. But my guess is that because the story of this involves children and bad things, maybe that's how we get to the Pavane for dead princess. But that's me really reaching pretty far because it doesn't come up like in terms of I don't get any like explanation in the 5 minutes. So it's drunk girls being like, play us Friends. And then Ger's like, what about this obscure piece of music? Because obviously. And so then the brother's like, well, what if I actually play you this totally different piece of music for funsies to show how good I am at playing piano? Because it's my job to play piano here at this bar. And so he goes and he's playing this classical piece of music. And it's like a galloping pace. He's like doing that thing that I feel like every time you see someone play piano in a movie, they do, where they have to have their hands flying as far away from the keyboard as they can to show that they really are legitimate piano players. So it's like he's just like smashing it, and his little poofy, stupid Beethoven hair is going everywhere. And then, as you said, for funsies, we cut into a black and white cartoon.
A poorly drawn black and white line art cartoon.
Yes, line art. Thank you. So I feel like there's something about this style that like feels very 2008 to me, like high school, college. I feel like really simple kid drawings, but like in sort of disturbing ways was like a vibe in the air.
Yeah,
do you
like
know what I mean?
Happy Tree Friends.
Yes. Yeah, where it sort of feels like it's meant for kids, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is actually
not
like
for
meant for like stoned adults. This is actually like something like eerie and mysterious. But if you just saw an image of it, you maybe wouldn't get the creep factor right away. Yeah. So it's that kind of vibe while this like really panicky piano music is happening behind it. So if you're having an anxiety attack, I'd say maybe don't watch this. Maybe skip this. Maybe like wait some time. So we watch. Okay, so this is important though. While Ger is sitting at the piano, he is not wearing glasses. He looks regular Ger. He looks nice. He looks fine.
I was like, oh, this is like early 2000s. Like I could, I dated him by the.
We know. Yes.
You know where I'm going. I was like, oh, okay, this is probably around now.
I also have a mental Rolodex of what his weight and facial hair and clothing choices look like through the ages. It's normal. It's not weird. I don't know why.
I didn't even need to look at I was like, oh, I know the era. I know the era. I know where we are with this.
Yes, 2008. Aging like a fine wine. Okay. So it's a useful skill in this job market. Okay. So he doesn't have glasses on. He is not like physically distinguishable in any real way, except that the man playing piano, who we will learn is his brother, has thicker, curlier hair and seems sort of like in the same within 5-10 years up or down. Like that's curly hair and then not curly hair. That's about as much as you get. Yeah. When we go to the cartoon, the line art, one child has big, giant, honking 90s glasses, and the other one has like, I should maybe learn how to like tamp this shit down, giant mushroom hair. So I was like, okay, probably glasses is Ger's character and mushroom hair is Piano Boy. But like the drawings are so similar that I was not sure.
It could go either way.
It could have gone either way. Because I think the drawing that they have of the big poofy haired kid has a very long, narrow face. And the actor does not have a long, narrow face. Like between the two of them, Ger's face would be longer and narrower. So it's confusing, I feel like, on purpose. But you have two boys, one with glasses, one without, and they're riding their bikes. There's no dialogue. It's very much like a what do you call it? Before the talkies, like a silent movie. Wow,
Yeah.
before talkies, silent. It's very much like a silent movie, but a cartoon. So the kids are riding their bikes, and then Glasses Boy does like, do you want to ride your bike through the scary woods with me? And little brother is like, oh, okay, whatever. So they go through the woods, and they meet three teens. And I need to remind the audience, this is from 2008, but the teens all have Donald Trump hair, and
they really do. They cut to one of them, and I was like, no,
because it's definitely meant to be pompadours, and this is set in the 50s. Like it has to be 50, maybe early 60s. Like based on how old Ger is, how old this man is, and the fact that it's a flashback and this hair, it's not meant to be Donald Trump and like two goons. I know it's not. But like you have to understand, like mentally, like close your eyes and try to imagine drawing a really simplified version of a pompadour, and you're gonna draw Donald Trump's hair. It even has the little ducktail on the back, which Trump has like sideways for whatever reason. And like it's sideways on this guy too. So it's three freaky, bezitted Donald Trump 1950s like greaser teens who pull out knives and like make the boys go up to some trees, and then their hands are tied in knots, like they're tied with rope around these trees, and then you see Glasses Boy gets his pants pulled down, and the memory ends. And I just gotta sit with that for like a real quick. I'm sorry. And the other boy weeps. The other little boy is weeping actively, big sobbing, gobbing tears. End of fun cartoon. This whole thing is 5 minutes.
5 and a half. 5 minutes and like 39 seconds.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So play me the Fred song. How about you play me the Pavane? I'm actually going to play dramatic, like horse riding music. Here's a little boy getting raped. Back to the present with the drunk girls. And I was like, okay, all right. Okay, a lot came into my body, and I need to find a way to compartmentalize all of it. So they don't show what happened, but obviously it's implied that like Ger's kid gets raped or molested or something. And actually, right before they show him getting his pants pulled down, the meanest Donald Trumpiest of the boys pulls out a flick knife. And I think what it's meant to be, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think from the animation, what it's meant to be is, here's my knife. If you don't put your hands around the tree, I will stab you. Like, I think that's all it's meant to be. But the timing of the animation makes it not impossible that he fucks the kid up the ass with the flick knife. And I was like, what am I? This was at a film festival. What?
Yeah.
What?
I had to watch that twice, because then I was like, who's the glasses kid? And I had to go back and be like, oh my, did I catch that the first time?
Right, because it's so fast that when it happened, I was like, did his little pants just fall down and they're making fun of him?
And it's so unexpected the first time you're like, oh my, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What was that? And you have to go back, oh my God, they did. What am I watching?
Like a freight train. And I need to point out, I think this is the moment to point out that I tried to find out information about the book that this is based on, and I will talk about it in a second once we get through like the plot of the little movie. But it's a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy.
What? What is this funny? Is this supposed to be funny?
I don't know if the movie is, but the book apparently is a very, very, very dark, black dark comedy.
I'm confused. This feels like Wedding Crashers. You know the movie Wedding Crashers?
Yeah. Explain.
The guy gets raped as one of the jokes.
Why do I not remember?
He's sleeping and he wakes up tied to the bed. And he keeps telling the girl, no, I don't want to. And she still climbs on top of him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in 2008, it was funny to be molested. Yeah. We all thought it was real funny to have sex against your will. It was LOL.
Yeah.
The impression that I get is not that the raping is supposed to be funny, but I guess like the overall book is funny. And
this is an ad for the book. It's
basically
ostensibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I would not if you gave me the book and it was funny, I'd be like, the fuck is wrong with you? What?
Yeah. To be fair, I have not read this book. I have not read anything by this author, and I don't believe I've seen any episodes of TV that he wrote, although apparently he wrote like a whole bunch. But I will say that like when I was in college, I was really into Charles Bukowski. So like sort of in my head, I'm like, I could see threading this needle. It would be a very careful threading, but I could see making something so absurd where like you could have very dark things happen in a book where you're also like laughing at other things. Like I can see that. But like from this movie, from this little video clip, I like if you told me it was a comedy, that really surprised me. I was like, this just feels like uncomfortable humor, like bizarre humor. Like when the girls are like, my friends. Like I was like, okay, they're stupid, but like the overall vibe is not comedy.
Yeah.
So when I read like, this is such a great dark comedy book, I was like, oh, is it? Is it? Okay, all right. But okay, so we don't see the little boy rape. We're pretty sure it happens. Back to the present. The big poofy hair guy is like pounding away on the keys of the keyboard. And the two drunk girls are like, let's like, we do want to hear the Pavane. Like they're like sobered out by the brilliance of his piano playing, which is obviously a thing that happens in real life. And then they're like, do you guys know each other? And Ger's like, not really. He's my brother. And then this is the part where I died. So Ger, to make it clear which one is Glasses Boy and which one is not Glasses Boy, Ger pulls out what I can only describe as Estelle Getty's glasses, because they are the glasses of a 95-year-old Italian lady. And like, that is like, so it's 2008. Everyone's wearing small glasses because we've gone, like 90s are big. 2008, we're back to like those weird, skinny, like Matrix glasses. And then now we're in the 2020s, we're back to big glasses again. So no one had big glasses. But also, like, I think we can all realize that like an old woman's glasses defy like trends. And also like an old woman's glasses from like 1970 through now are the same pair of glasses. They're exactly the same. That is what Ger is wearing. Do you know what Estelle Getty he's wearing Estelle Getty's giant, clear plastic acetate, the size of his whole face glasses, and he has to put them on with such a sense of dignity. And I was like, sir, sir, you were just cartoon raped as a 12-year-old. I don't, you know what?
Was this on or around when he was on Puppets That Kill?
You know what?
And he had to pretend to suck the dick of his glasses.
I am still haunted by that. I can't. But you know why I'm haunted by it? I'm gonna be clear. I'm haunted by it because I'm haunted by it because the first two times I watched Puppets Who Kill, I missed him doing the fellatio on the glasses completely. I totally missed it because you're looking at him talking and you're looking at Urz's like response to him talking because she's in the jury box, and I just totally did not see what he did with his hands. Like it did not register at all. And then the third time when I was like, okay, I really need to take notes, I watched it and I caught it and I was like, no, something's wrong with your brain and you made that up. You're a weird pervert and you made that up. Your eyes saw something wrong. Something is wrong with you. So I had to watch it a fourth fucking time. And the fourth time when it was still him mouth fucking the glasses, I was like, I missed when I didn't live in this world. I missed when I lived in the world where he didn't the glasses, because it's awful. It's awful. 2005. So within 3 years.
I knew it.
Color me impressed that your mental recall of the eras of Ger.
I'm just trying to connect maybe glasses to a new characteristic, because I feel like this is not the first time he's been given comically oversized glasses. Oh, including the Highlander episode where his different persona wears glasses.
Yeah, but in Highlander they're like sexy 90s dad glasses. And I liked them. And here he's like, I stole these off an old woman. And I need you to know that I was the little raped boy. And I was like, okay, I can't.
I feel like, because it was Conspiracy of Fear. I think he wears glasses.
Oh, probably.
Oh, God,
I think he wears glasses
one.
a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think on this because all I can picture is him with his like evil goatee. So I'm like, okay, so he's bad at it, and he also has the like evil spiky hair.
That's how you know. That's the sign.
Yeah. So
like porcupine
glasses.
quills.
I'm gonna have to think on it.
We'll make a chart later. Put it on the podcast. So we come back to the present. Ger is like, yep, that's my brother. He puts on the glasses, so we all know he was the little raped boy. And then. My God. And then, then he orders drinks for the women. And I was like, finally, a characteristic. Fucking finally. there are drunk, horny women. Oh. He's sitting there being cultured. Thank you. Thank you, finally.
I mean, it's kind of the second because he did cancel this entire film show. He didn't cancel it. He was in it when it was canceled.
Correct. He was in it and then there weren't any more, which is the characteristic. Oh my God. I mean, to be fair, it's such a weird idea for a film festival. Like you know what it is? It's Wishbone. It's the TV show Wishbone, but in a film festival.
Yeah.
Like you're giving me the movie version and you're giving it to me incomplete so that I go, oh, I want to know what the story is. And I go and see it. But what actually happens is I watch the episode of Wishbone or I watch the film Pavane. I go, I don't understand this. This doesn't make any sense. And I'm just a mad Neanderthal the rest of my life. And I never go and read the Count of Monte Cristo to know what the Wishbone dog was doing. Like I just remain stupid and angry.
I loved Wishbone.
I liked Wishbone too, but I
loved his stupid little costumes.
Did you ever watch Wishbone and then go, oh, I actually want to know what the story is and then read the story?
I don't think so.
No, none of us ever did the one thing that Wishbone wanted us to do.
I just counted it as having read it. I was like, well, on Wishbone, this is what happens.
Yeah, it gave me just enough to know nothing about the fucking story.
Right. Yes.
Was there a dog in a fancy hat? I knew that part. I got that part down.
The same reason I thought Muppet Christmas Carol had 2 Marley brothers, and I couldn't figure out why every other adaptation eliminated the second one.
Can we just have a moment where I admit how stupid I am? I've seen Muppet Christmas Carol. I hadn't seen it like recently, but you know how like every year there's always people putting out like articles about how great it is and how wonderful it is, blah, blah, blah. And there was some article recently that was like a listicle. And I was like, okay, I'm on the toilet. I'll read the listicle. Yeah. So I'm going down the list and it was talking about the 2 Marley brothers. And I went, oh, okay. Well, probably I knew that in the store. I have not read the actual Christmas Carol either. Cause again, not a cultured person. But I knew that there was one. I knew that there was one Marley brother and it was Jacob Marley and that he was haunting his business partner. But I was like, okay, it makes sense to have Waldorf and Statler like jointly be that role because they're the smart asses. Having them be the ghost feels right for a smart ass character. Okay, so in my head, that's as in depth as I got with it. I was like, well, they're both smart asses. They should both be him. I didn't realize that the name they give in the Muppet Christmas Carol to the other Marley brother,
Robert Marley.
It's Bob Marley.
Yeah.
It's Bob Marley. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, I get it now.
You think I would have picked that up when I was like, why does everybody else not have Robert?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, it requires a 2-step thought process.
Right.
Of Robert
somebody pointed it out and I was
Marley
like, oh, Jesus Christ, there it is. Yeah. Bob Marley.
Yeah. And I
didn't know that.
So I feel like with the Muppets, like I want to not give them a second chance because that sounds like I didn't like them, but like I want to watch them again afresh with adult eyes to like see all the things that I missed because I know like based on that I know that there must have been a lot. Although I think I'm going to limit myself to Christmas Carol and Treasure Island and the Great Muppet Caper, and there was like another one that was made at the same time as Muppet Caper, and I never remember what it is. I think Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah, because I tried so hard. Last time you were talking about Muppets, like it's been a while, you were talking about Muppets, and you mentioned like the original Muppet movie, the one that I think that is just called the Muppet movie from like 79. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and I got 20 minutes in, and I was gripping the arm of my chair. I was like, why do I hate this so much? Why is this like so painful for me when I loved the Muppet movies from when I was a kid? Like I said, the Caper and the Take Manhattan. I remember those being amazing. I liked the recent ones with the giant guy from Shrinking, whose name I never remember, and I think he's very handsome, and I like him very much. I never remember his name, and his name is what? He was in How I Met Your Mother. He has a human name. Why can't I think of it?
I don't know.
One second. We're gonna get there.
I know who you're talking about. Like I can picture him,
the giant man. Jason Segel. Jason Segel, also known as the Giant Man. Obviously, Jason Segel. Poor Jason Segel. But like, I liked those movies, and I liked the ones when I was a kid. So I was like, surely it'll be the same sensibility. And I don't know what it is, but maybe
it's not. It's different than the others.
And it may just be that like you've mentioned when you did your 1970s Dracula like series, that movies from the 70s have such a slow plotting pacing that even Muppets cannot fix.
They're hard to watch. Like there's a couple that are good, but once you get like early 80s and then in the 70s, it's like watching paint dry.
Yes.
They're so slow.
And I couldn't figure out why it was so grating to me, even when like there were action sequences. Like there's Miss Piggy on rollerblades, like rollerblading through a park chasing somebody at one point. And I was like, oh, that's technically very difficult. And it's visually like it should be interesting. I should care about this. But instead, the whole time I was like, ugh. It felt like in my brain was an adult person trying to make a toddler watch like a Russian art film. That's what it felt like. It felt like, shut up, sit still, watch the movie. Shut up, sit still, watch the movie. Like it felt like I was forcing a smaller version of myself in my head to watch it. I couldn't get through it, but I want to watch the other Muppet movies. I don't know how we got here. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Puppets Who Kill? No.
Talking about
Marley Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Literary adaptations, Wishbone. It's basically the Wishbone Festival.
There we go. Yeah. See? Makes perfect sense. We're not crazy. You're crazy.
Hey, if you can trace it back.
Yeah. So I guess
you didn't get lost.
Yeah. It's fine. It makes perfect logical sense. So he puts on the glasses. The guy actually starts to play the Pavane. He gets like 2 bars in, and then the whole thing ends. The end. So there's that. Okay. So in this version, it's implied that Ger is the brother who gets raped, and only piano playing brother was there with him. And we don't really know why. Like, it doesn't seem to matter why piano playing brother is playing piano at like a dive bar. Like there's no story. It's just, hey, when we were kids, I got raped, and I'm going to talk to you in public like I've never met you before until a drunk lady asks if I know you. And then I will drop the reveal that we're brothers, the end. Like it's very like hit you in the side of the head with a brick. The story of the book, which I had to Google, so, take it with a grain of salt, is that there are the 2 brothers who are Phil, a novelist, and his brother Jay, Jay in this becomes a pianist, that they and their friend Norman Kitchen are riding in their bikes, and they go down into a ditch. And so there's the 3 of them, and then there's only 2 bad boys. And I guess in the book, it's never actually clearly stated what happens, except that there's a sexual assault and it happens to one of them. But I did find one website that was like, no, it's Norman. Definitely it's Norman who gets raped. And I was like, okay, I believe you, internet, because I'm not going to read this, because why? So one of them, maybe Norman, gets raped. And then it's the same sort of thing where they're like, the 2 brothers at least are haunted by this rape. But apparently Norman is like fine. Norman's not bothered by it. Norman gets raped and then just is like, and then like lives his life, which maybe where the dark comedy comes in, frankly. Apparently he becomes a priest. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I would suggest that perhaps the childhood rape of him could have influenced his decision to become a priest as an adult. But I guess in the book, they're like, nah, he's fine. Don't worry about Norman. He's good. He's fine. But the other brothers, they're real messed up about it because they had to watch Norman get raped. So like, feel bad for them. So the one brother, the classical pianist, I guess he was like a classically trained, like fancy pianist. And then he's so upset by the rape, but like retroactively 20 years later, that he blows up his marriage and blows up his life and then ends up playing piano in a dive bar. And then here's where the semi-autobiographical part comes in, because Phil, the Phil character, is an author. He's a novelist who is writing a novel about his own experience watching Norman get raped in the woods as a kid. And so this novel is watching Phil write that novel about the experience that happened as a kid, which also might sort of have happened to Paul Quarrington and his brother, question mark, when they were kids. So like 3 layers of like not knowing what's actually going on. So like not the same fucking story. Like some other totally different kid got raped in the woods. Like I don't know. I mean, I will be honest that like I would give this book a chance, and if I end up reading it, I will report back to let everyone know what I think, because like I say, like I think there's a place for exploring really dark, messed up comedy. Like I sort of want to take another look at Charles Bukowski, like now that I'm not, you know, a 20-year-old full of myself college freshman, and see like what it looks like to an adult's eyes to read something like Post Office, where you just have some random crazy lady go, "You're gonna rape me," and then Bukowski's character's like, "No, ma'am, I'm the mailman. I'm here to give you your mail." And she's like, "No, you're gonna rape me." And he's like, "Okay," and then he does. So like, it's perverse. I'm not saying it's not perverse, but like the way it was written was so absurd and like so like outside of a frame of reality that it was kind of funny. It was meant to be a funny book, but I sort of wonder like what it would be like to read that as an adult. Like, am I just going to go, well, this is juvenile and stupid, or will I still be able to see the charm of something like that? And this, to me, when they described this as a dark comedy, I was like, oh, is it like that? Is it like in that same kind of vein of like something that's really terrible, but you just describe it in like such heightened, weird ways that it's funny despite itself? I don't know. So could be interesting to read. Like, I'm not against it. And apparently, you know, Paul Quarrington wrote, like I said, he wrote a lot of books. He wrote a lot of episodes of TV shows. He wrote a couple of movies. He was also a musician. Like, he was a very well-known author, like screenwriter and author. I am not aware of him myself to like be able to give any kind of a idea of what the actual book is. I just think this is the weirdest fucking film festival I've ever heard of.
Do you think it's the only one that was like that? All the others were literally like Reading Rainbow and Wishbone, and then this guy came on, and everyone's like, "Ooh, animation!" And then they got to the part at the end.
I don't know, because I literally
I want them to have completely misread the tone of the film festival.
It's all children's books and shit, and then Paul Quarrington's like, "Oh, you want cartoons? I got your cartoon right here."
Actually, maybe we shouldn't play mine. And they were like, "No, you worked so hard on this. We want you to get the chance for everyone to see it." And he's like, "No, it's fine, actually."
You got Garrett Wynn Davies in this. You must have been really like legit serious about this.
He's just sweating.
I don't know. The only article I could find, and I'll put it in the show notes if I can figure out how to do that, was an article that the CBC did where they were interviewing I think the people that like set up the whole film festival, that created it. And it's just, it gives no real, it's very confusing. Like, I feel like I read the article and I understand what this movie was trying to do, because watching this movie without any kind of external context is like getting a brick thrown at your head. It's very out of nowhere. Like, it has no beginning or no end. It's just like middle, and you're like, ah, and then it's over. But like, I feel like I still don't, like, I wonder what like, to your point, I wonder what that would have been like to sit down in the film festival and be like, all right, here I am. Like, let me watch the things. Like, what the other entries would have been like. Because like we said, they've got nonfiction, they've got fiction, they've got poetry. Like, what are you going to do for the poetry? Are you going to read a poem while like the colors happen? Are you going to give me like an avant-garde impression of the entire book of poetry? Like what? Like, how do you translate that into a 5-minute long movie? Because I feel like you could do that very literally, or you could go super not literally, or you could do this, which is like sort of like an impression of the novel if I didn't actually know what the novel was about. Like, you did like a drive-by, you like told me real quick while you ran past me and then said, "And make a movie about it." And like I had to make a movie. It's very weird, but yeah, it does feel like, okay, you wanted Wishbone, but like for new books, and you did it one time and it traveled across Canada and then never again. Never. So I don't know how to rate this because the old lady
I think
glasses.
we can have an NR, like a not rated.
Not rated.
Like,
yeah. I mean,
unrateable.
To be fair, you've got characteristics. You've got drunk girls in a bar that it feels like he's about to hit on right at the end, which I was like, chef's kiss. I love it.
Yeah.
You remembered how you were raped as a kid and you're like, but there's drunk chicks here. Like, focus. Focus.
Remember, remember this is supposed to be serious, Ger, and he's like, yeah,
ladies.
Are you listening? What? No.
Do you like my Estelle Getty glasses, ladies?
He did the
Listener, you can't see what Rachel just did, but she air fucked some glasses. Some invisible glasses. And you know what that looks like because I know that you've all now seen Puppets Who Kill. I know you've all watched it. Because I see it when I close my eyes. So I'm sure you all have too.
He's like, I'm famous. I was in Tracker.
I will in the future be in 3 episodes of Murdoch Mysteries.
I'm just saying.
I'm going places.
And Frankie Drake. I'll have a whole podcast dedicated to my career.
You don't know what that is yet. It's 2008. But when it happens, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
So we've got blowing up the entire film festival that he's in, which is a characteristic. and we have him making eyes at chicks at a bar during an entirely inappropriate moment to do so. Which I feel like are the 2 most supreme characteristics. Which in 5 minutes of film, I mean that's chef's kiss.
Yeah.
5 minutes of film, 3 minutes of which are a silent cartoon that you're not even in. Like
he really squeezed in as many as he could.
He's a man of the plan, which I appreciate. Maybe NA is fair. It's not awful. It's just bizarre. It's just sort of like I wish Paul Quarrington were around and able to talk more about what he was actually going for. Because like in the CBC article, they do interview him, but it's like a real quick. I knew I couldn't get the whole plot in, so I thought I would do something similar, kind of shrugsy, and I'm like, okay. And it did actually make me want to read this book because this was such a weird video that I'm like, okay, I guess I better give Paul Quarrington a shot. But anyway, so yeah, the book is called The Ravine. The short is called Pavane. It'll be on the YouTube page. Watch it or don't. I don't, just as a warning.
Trigger warning. Yeah.
Yeah, a Trump-like figure might do a bad thing to a child. Allegedly. Please don't send me to the gulag. Anyways, do you want to talk about the next thing?
God. And on that note, we get to talk about The Loyalists, which is the first time I have watched the non-American propaganda version of this story. Both of us grew up with American propaganda because we were both born here and we definitely come from here. But no, when you go through elementary school, you don't get this perspective.
I don't remember. So if I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I feel like we've touched on this maybe a little bit in previous episodes. For whatever reason, my Canadian history classes only went up to the fur traders in like 1760, whatever. Like it doesn't like it goes up to the time of like Ikway. It's like Ikway, which I think is what 1600s maybe. Like Ikway plus is basically where, for whatever reason, like every year in school, they like started over. We start over every year. We go from like the dawn of time through the fur traders, and then they're like, you know what? Done. Oh, we got to May. Oh, it's the end of the school year. Tune in next year. So I didn't even get this. I didn't even get like, we never got to the revolution, or I was asleep by that point. I don't know. I only got to the fur traders, and I will be entirely honest. The only reason I remember anything at all about the fur trade, I don't know why I just did a Donald Trump hand gesture. I don't feel good about that. The only reason that I remember anything at all about the fur traders is I had, and I think I told this story maybe. I had this teacher in grade 7 who was a former military officer and possibly suffering from a very complex form of PTSD, who had a hair trigger and was real intense. And so they had him teach children history, because that's what you do. And he came in when we were talking about the fur traders with a garbage bag, which he did not address at all. He did not like discuss the garbage bag in the room. He brought it in. He had it sitting on a table, and we were talking about fur traders or whatever. And then all of a sudden, he goes over, he opens up the bag, he takes out a beaver pelt, which is a lot bigger than you think it's going to be, and he whipped it at a kid. I don't remember why. There was no historical point, like we were talking about beavers attacking people or anything. He just had one for funsies, as you do. He picked it up out of his bag, and he went, "Wah!" and he just like flipped it at some kid's face, which is the only reason I remember that fur trading was a big part of Canadian history, because I remember when that teacher attacked a kid with a pelt.
Well, it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah, that
it
was
worked.
my childhood in the Great White North. The teacher threw beaver pelts at a kid.
I've never heard a more Canadian childhood story in my life.
I did not go to school in the 1860s. I know it sounds like maybe I did. This would have been like the year 2000. Anyways, so that's about as much as I knew. So I this part of history was new to me too. And I appreciate that. I feel like they tried to give a good sense of both sides of the situation. No, you didn't get that vibe? No.
No. I think Ger is the 1970s.
Oh, this is 1977.
Yeah. See, it looked Deadly Harvest. It's like, oh, I know that foppish blonde cut. Anyway,
I know that boy.
I think Ger is the 1977 version of what far right-wing people think far left-wing people are now. Like, she goes to give him tea, and he's like, I can't put treason in my mouth.
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, so let me.
And she's like, we can drink tea now. That's over. And he's like, no, get that filth away from me.
But I will say, I feel like they're a little more. I can't think of the noun of this. What is it? That like they're a little bit more equal than you would assume. If only because at the very end, Ger gets to have his little shell-shocked monologue where he's talking about going and seeing all the burned buildings and all the women and children that are dead, and he gets to go full Alfred Hitchcock. What was the Hitchcock thing we saw? The where Ger gets to go full Vietnam War flashback.
Yeah. Yes.
He gets to have his Revolutionary War flashback 20 years before he has his Vietnam War flashback. He's wearing even the same fucking outfit. Did you like they put him in like 70s army fatigues and he's got like his 1970s haircut. They didn't do shit to him. I think it's so funny. Why do they always dress him like a man outside of time? I don't.
It's like the time he was in Murdoch Mysteries as Sherlock Holmes and he was just wearing like a boater and the wrong facial hair.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was clearly. I think that was the time when he was doing Dylan Thomas at the Stratford Festival, because I've seen pictures of him in that, and he's got the same goddamn straw boater hat. I think he just walked off the one set, walked on the other, and was like, "Hey, yeah, no, I'm still Sir Arthur Conan Doyle," and they were like, "Hello, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle," and he's like, "All right, I'll be at the craft services table. Pew pew. Like, see you guys later." But okay, the thing that we're talking about, which we will also have to upload to the YouTube channel because it exists nowhere, and I can find literally zero information about the program that it is from. But I believe it is from 1977. The TV show was called In Their Shoes, and this particular episode was The Loyalists. And as far as I can tell, it's a educational history program. But by the time we get to when I was a kid, the Canadian government was doing something called it's like History Minute. It's something minute. But they would take out one commercial when you're watching TV, and that one commercial would instead be like this historical 1 minute long little mini movie about Canadian history.
Yeah.
And like just a random point in time. It didn't matter. It could be the 70s. It could be like the 1800s. I watched the one where they talk about the guy who invented basketball a lot because we are very proud. We are a very proud people of the fact that it was a Canadian who invented basketball, even though he invented it in the States. So it was just this one guy with a peach basket over and over again between commercials for like a Honey Nut Cheerios. So like that's what we had when I was a kid. So it was just a minute long. This is fully like 15 minutes. This is like a full segment. So I feel like probably it was made for kids to watch in school, but like I have no context. I have nothing on it. And the only reason that we were lucky enough to get this is because one of the members of Ger's fan club had this on her cassette of like everything Ger's ever done.
This is on the tape tree.
This was on the tape tree. Yeah. Yeah. So and I should have maybe asked her for more context, but like, I also sort of feel like maybe she wouldn't remember where this one 15-minute clip came from 30 years ago. But
I could have told you this was Canadian without even knowing it was Canadian. My favorite part is when she goes, "Why would you rebel against the freest form of government in the world?"
They do. Okay. They do lay it on a little heavy at minutes 1 through 14.
No. Then she's been posing as a man because it's the only way she can keep her shit together in the U.S. during the Revolutionary War.
Correct.
And then she and her mom get that moment where her mom sits down and she's like, "We'll go to Niagara." And the girl's like, "Yes, there we'll be free." And she's like, "Your father is there." And she's like, "Yes, we should be a family again and we should plant crops." And Ger's only defense is, "But the weather is really bad."
My favorite part is they're saying this in New York City. He's like, "But how will you handle the weather in Canada?" And I was like, "Aren't you in New York in the winter?"
She's like, "You need to stay home with me in New Jersey." He's in New Jersey.
So to give the briefest outline of what we're talking about, because I feel like the audience might be confused. So this is
why would you be confused? Why would you leave the freest form of government in the world?
It is okay. I will not pretend that the first 14 out of this 15-minute video, the first 14 minutes are not pure Canadian smarm, because they are. They are. I admit it. But I feel like they really try and get a both sides thing in at minute 15. They really squeak it in there.
They're like, "We got 30 seconds. Do the thing, Ger." And he's like, "I've seen dead people because the British people killed them." And he's like, "Okay, but I'm still going to Niagara," is basically what she says. She's like, "You can come with me. I'm going to Canada."
This thing has everything and nothing. I love it. And like I said, the first couple of times I watched this, I was like, okay, whatever, like history minute. That's fine. When I watched it tonight, I had a little bit of a different feeling. And I didn't like how I felt watching it because it made me a little sweaty and it made me a little nervous. It made me try and think ahead about, plans for, Gestapo to Electric Boogaloo. Anyway, so this is set in October of 1783. It's in New York. The Revolutionary War is over. And our main character is a girl named Hannah Fraser. And I just want to point out that she is supposed to be 18 years old. This is in 1977, and when I looked this lady up, she's actually older than Ger. She's passed away since this filmed. But she was, so Ger is born in 1957. She was born in like 1949. So by 1977, she's like what, like 30? Like she's not 18 is my point. And I love how this doesn't even try to make her seem 18. She's just a grown lady standing there being like, hey, I'm 18. And I'm like, "Ma'am, you look like you own like 2 houses, but okay." So she's standing there. They have dressed her in what to my uncultured eye looks like the clothing of a person in 1780s, whatever, America. Like it's meant to be a boy's clothing, a man's clothing. So it's like little, breeches and like a jacket and stuff. But like, that's, she looks like she fits in. Like I said, in a minute, Ger will show up in 1970s, like, what do you call it? Army jacket and his 1977, like, boy haircut. And no one says anything. He just came out of prison. He's been in prison for 4 years and he has a perfect bob. And I was like, all right, sure. It just fucking stopped. You were in prison and your hair was like, no, perfect length. No more. Stop. Perfect Beatles, like, ball hair, whatever. Mm-hmm. So anyways, so she, it starts off with her in darkness, just talking directly to the camera about how bad shit is for a loyalist after the Revolutionary War. And I was like, I could see that. I could see probably it's like not the most comfortable time, like whatever, that makes sense. So she's there. Ger sneaks in. It turns out we are in Ger's father's house. So Ger's been in prison for the last 4 years. He is a rebel. So he's fighting on the side of the Americans. His girlfriend is on the side of the British. But she has snuck into Ger's dad's house. So Ger has been in British prison for the last 4 years. He comes in, he pulls out a gun out of a drawer and he's like, "Who are you, man?" And I was like, come on. Like, no man has ever had a tiny little butt like that. Like, let's be honest. But she turns around and he's like, "Oh my God, Hannah, my girlfriend." And she's like, "Nikki." And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? You were Nikki in 1976. You have always been Nikki in everything you're in. Are you kidding me?
At least she wasn't like Nicola.
At one point, I think her mother calls him Nicholas, and I was like, oh, oh okay.
Down, girl.
I like that you have always been Nicholas de Brabant. Like in everything that you've been in, you were always this, and this was always you. I don't know. I'm a simple animal. Okay. So anyways, he's like, "Oh my God, my girlfriend." And she's like, "Hey, my boyfriend who was in prison. You don't even look like you need to shave. You look perfect. Except for your ankle, which might be falling off." And I was like, because I mean, it's like, it's 1977 and it's blurry. Like, I'm sorry, the video quality is what it is. I don't have the skills to make it nicer. But like, it looks like they just put like some red paint on his ankle and we're like, limp a little. But when she describes it, she's like, "Oh, it's like his ankle's almost hacked off." And I was like, I can't, just mentally. So she's like, "I want to take care of you." And then, like you said, she's like, "Can I get you some tea?" And he's like, "No, I can't." What is it that he says about it's treason? I think I wrote it down even.
Yeah, he's like, "You asked me to put treason in my mouth."
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Would you have me swallow treason? Which is such a line. It is such a line. But I have to say, I feel like he sold it. I was like, I feel like I believed in him as like a guy with a cause who was like, "Are you kidding me? I just got out of British prison. I don't want Earl Grey. I don't want Earl Grey right now. That would not feel yummy to my tummy right now. No, thank you." But okay, so he calls himself a patriot and she's like, "Well, I'm a Tory." And I was like, okay, like my understanding of history had always been kind of the American version. Like the Brits are very mean to everybody. And then people were like, "We're not going to take it anymore." And like they put on some Twisted Sister and they had a revolution and they kicked the Brits out. And then everything was perfect and righteous and good forever because the land here is.
We're a beacon on a hill.
You're the shining city. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the version that I'd always heard too. So he's like, "I fought for the Americans." And I was like, okay, well, you're Ger, first off. So you're going to be the good guy. And you're on the side of the Americans. So double good guy. And then like, I feel like we get a lot from her that I'd never heard before. Like she's like, "There are people going door to door hunting me down because I am a loyalist, and they're killing people. They're setting their houses on fire. They're killing the Quakers even, who are abstaining from fighting in the war because they're Quakers. Like their religion doesn't allow them to fight. And they're getting murdered and they're getting killed. I had to leave my house so that my mother and I wouldn't get killed. I don't know where my dad is. I don't know where my one brother is. I know where my other brother is because he's in prison. The Americans have imprisoned him. And everyone who doesn't swear a loyalty oath, they get killed and their houses get burned down. I gotta get out of here. These people are fucking nuts." And I was like, I'd never heard that before. I wonder why, living in America, I'd never heard that before. I feel like probably they didn't just make this shit up for the Canadian Minute. Like, probably they're basing this on something. And I was like, oh. And then, of course, like, I don't know, listener, where you're living in the world right now, but hearing about roving gangs of ultra patriotic, I'm going to put little quotes around that word, patriotic Americans, let's say, knocking on doors and hunting people down, it felt a little more relevant than I wanted it to feel. Maybe. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Didn't like that. So anyway, so it's Ger and the girl, Hannah and Nikki. It's Ger and the girl having like this like spirited political argument, which I appreciated because she's like, she on the one hand is like, "You guys are burning everything down. How are you going to build a new society out of nothing? Like we had something, and instead of trying to change it, you just burnt everything down." And he's like, "Well, we tried to change it and that didn't work and it was terrible. And we shouldn't just have to kowtow to some authority, some king in, all the way across the sea. Like our we should have freedoms and we should have rights that stem from like inherently from us being human beings and not from whatever someone that God gave a fancy hat to decides that are rights that we get today. And I was like, oh, like I appreciate this the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was really good. Like, I felt like the kind of thing that you could watch in school and then go like, okay, what do you think about what he said? What do you think about what she said? Like, I feel like both of them were making good points, even though like, yes, okay, I'm aware it's a Canadian production. So they want her to seem like righteous and moral. And they want him to be like a little bit frothing at the mouth and American, which like, fine. Anyways, they have their whole thing. The girl's mother comes in, Hannah's mother comes in, and we learn a little bit more about everyone having like their houses burned down and how scary everything is. And their mother's like, we need to go to Freedom to Niagara Falls, the most beautiful, wonderful place that's ever existed on the face of this earth. It's where like all the trees bleed honey and there's apples everywhere and we all hold hands and we're all friends and everything's great. And it's our culture and our people. And Gar's like, but how will you live in the wild, forbidding north of Canada when we're here in the civilized tropical land of New York City?
New Jersey.
That's right. Yeah, he wants them to go home to New Jersey, but his house is in his dad's house where they're filming this or where they're having this discussion is New York. But yeah, he's like, how will you go from New Jersey and New York all the way to the wild? I mean, I know what they mean. I know that they're talking about it as like uncivilized and like wild, but the way that he's talking about it, it feels like a climate thing. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah. Well, he says that. He goes, but the weather there is so harsh.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think I can deal with the weather. Same, girl.
It's literally 4 feet that way. I feel like I'll be all right. So they have their whole thing. And Gar's like, but you're my fiance. And she's like, they will murder me here. What part are you not getting? And he's like, well, not if you're my wife. And like, so many news articles flashed behind my eyes. I had to pause watching it because I was like, oh shit, no, they don't know what's gonna happen. No, it's 1977. They don't know. They haven't lived through 2025. Stop it. Like I could like just feel them going like behind my eyes the whole time. I was like, okay, fine. She doesn't know how good a point she's making. And then Ger does my favorite Ger thing where he's like, no, you have to stay. Whoomp, and head to breast, just head like deep in this girl's whoop. This is how I will get you to stay with me in the land of milk and honey that is America. Nips. Motorboat. So she's like, even though this is the best motorboating ever, I cannot live here because again, roving gangs are going door to door and they will hunt me down and kill me. And then we get like the one Ger making an argument other than, but you're my girl, baby. Like the one argument he actually makes, which is, hey, you know how you said that roving gangs of Americans are burning babies and cutting the heads off of women? Well, it turns out the Brits were doing that also. And I saw it with my own eyes and it was really traumatic. And I'm a really good actor. Everyone look at me, be a really good actor. I'm going to stare off haunted into the distance. And you're going to see how affected I am and what a good actor I am and how I should maybe get the role of a famous vampire cop in like 20 years or so. Please hire me. Mm-hmm. He does such a good job. And then she's like, pass. And then it ends. And I was like, I thought it was so funny because she's like, you need to, sorry, her mother is like, oh my God, the roving murder gangs are at the door. You have to choose. And Ger's like, my dick, and her mother's like roving murder gangs, and the girl's like, huh, and that's where it ends. That's where they decide like what would you choose? And I'm like, is there even a choice there between my boyfriend and the murder gangs? Like, what's he gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
How is that possibly? How is like no disrespect to Ger. I'm sure his character Nicky would have been a real great husband, but also like, how is he going to protect? Like, at no point was he like, here's my plan of action for protecting you from the murder gangs. It felt very much like Nick the Brick, where it's like, where is your plan, sir? I need you to have thought this through. And he's like, nope. No.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
I'm going to wing it. So that's the basic plot. Rachel, what were your thoughts?
Just that this is I was like, wow, this is a perspective I've never seen before. Because it's always like, British, bad. Look, they were red. That makes them evil. And you're like, yes, the British are evil. That's basically the version that I got taught.
Yeah.
And then I was watching this. again, my favorite line, why would you leave the freest form of government? And then he's like, because we're going to let the people run it, because the people know what they want. And it's supposed to sound dumb, and it does sound dumb. And it's just, I was like, wow, this is British propaganda. This is like, you should have stayed a colony. You could be cool like us. And in the end, when she like literally her mother sits down, then she sits down beside her and like leans on her knees, and they're both like, Niagara. Like, we will go to Niagara. And yeah, I did catch the part, because I thought for sure we're just gonna make this a slam dunk propaganda moment. And then Ger does his like, yeah, okay, well, the British are mean too, which is like the one concession that like, okay, maybe we made some mistakes, but we didn't have roving murder gangs. And then it ends.
I feel like their hearts were trying to be a little more fair than like the way that it comes out. I feel like they were trying for that, but
well, we don't know what happened around it, so we don't know what other things happened in the show.
Well, I think this was just like I think it was like each different clip is like different characters from a different time. Is kind of,
but we don't know if we got like a prior history, like if we got the Revolutionary War, and then this was like end of Revolutionary War, and then the next one is like post Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And then whoopsie, Canada tried to burn down the White House, and then
bitch, we did burn down the White House. We are so proud of that. That is the other thing I learned in history class. I learned fur pelts, and the one time in like the War of 1812 that we burned down the White House. I don't remember.
Marched down, burned it, and then went home.
I don't remember the context. I don't know what led to it. I don't know what happens after it. But I know the house burned to the ground. Which
I know Michigan used to be part of Quebec, and then there was a treaty, and Quebec gave Michigan to the U.S. because there was a petition. There was a petition to rejoin Quebec.
Seriously?
I mean, I'm closer geographically to Canada here than I am.
That is true, because you're in the UP.
And and the UP is connected to, I mean, it's not connected to anything, but there's more of it bordering Canada than bordering the U.S.
You're closer to freedom than I currently am. That is true.
I go to the grocery store, and if I'm not careful, I can go to Canada. Like, it just goes into Canada.
I'm not jealous. But I mean, although, you know what's funny though is like, I feel like it would be really interesting to see what it would be like to join Quebec as a majority English speaking, like,
they wouldn't have us.
Well, but there are like,
we'd have to be like Ontario West.
But like, I mean, like, geographically, I do think I'm like, how would you like draw the line to connect that to Quebec? It'd be like a little tail. Yeah. You'd have to go all the way over. But like, it is, I do always kind of want to learn more about like Franco-Anglo like relations in Quebec. Because it just seems like for the longest time, if you were only English speaking, you were treated as a second-class citizen. And it sounds like that sort of is still the case. And then even if you're like bilingual, but like French is not your mother tongue, you're still kind of treated poorly. So like, I really think it would be funny if you like left the States and they're like, okay, the UP belongs to Canada now. And Quebec was like, hello, motherfuckers. Like, welcome to Quebec. You better start learning to speak French. Vite. Vitement. Immediatement. But not that I don't. I do kind of want, like, I kind of want to go back and visit Quebec, like, not just to see the house from Being Human, which I will not lie and say that is not, like, a significant part of why I want to go back. But, like, anyways, we'll add that to the list of places to go at one point. But, I don't know what my fucking point is. I had a point. But, like, you're talking about Quebec and Michigan being part of Quebec at one point.
Just that we don't know how balanced the rest of the representation was. Like, we don't know what other history they covered.
Yeah.
But this one feels pretty Canada heavy, and it cracked me up. I needed it. It was also a little too close to home, but also I think every millennial hasn't really fully faced the level of propaganda we received as children. So when you get a moment to process it, you're like, oh, right, there are other countries with other perspectives about what we did there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Well, that's why I found it really interesting because, like, I feel like in my head, if I'm like, picture the American Revolution for whatever reason, and I know this is not like fair or accurate to anybody, but in my head it's always like really bloodless. And like I know that's not true. But like the version that lives in my head is the version that I would have learned like as a wee child in school, or it's a wee child in American high school, so not that wee, I guess, but like where it's just we disagreed with the British and we threw some tea in the water.
And then we were independent at the end.
And then we were our own country at the end. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. We sent a strongly worded letter.
Yeah.
And then we chucked some tea into the harbor and then we were free.
Yes. Or it's like, I don't know. Like, you don't think about things that would today be war crimes. Like, I don't know why it's always like, well, if there was fighting, it was, only adult men against only other adult men. And it was very civilized and they broke for tea and they didn't fight after 5. And it was like a chess game. It was like a chess match of intellectuals on this battlefield. And in this version, they're like, hey, both of you burned down villages and killed women and killed children. And I was like, oh, that's not a thing that I ever got taught. That's not a thing that I was ever aware of.
More rape.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot. They do mention rape on both sides. And I was like, huh. Okay. Like that would have been helpful contextually to learn at any point before now. Like even if it was like American soldiers were raping people and George Washington was like, what are you doing? Don't do that. And he stopped at the end and it never happened again. Like if that's even so, like I feel like getting a fuller picture of the, I don't know, like the terrible things that I was gonna say men, but like I mean like humankind, that people can do when they're not restrained. Like the fact that none of these wars are fought like on this like purely intellectual like within the boundaries of war that we think should exist like framework. Like they've always had people doing like monstrous things, and maybe there are people like going off on their own doing monstrous things that they were ordered not to do or were not ordered to do. And maybe they are people doing monstrous things because they were ordered to do monstrous things and they did not choose to defy the orders of their superior when they're being told to do something that's morally wrong. Like it's I don't know, like I found it really interesting just because it was an entirely new perspective, but like not just like propaganda to one side or the other, but like new perspective in that like I didn't know that it was this, I don't know what the word is, like what down and dirty, like muddy, like mucky, immoral,
grimdark.
Yes.
Grimdark.
Yes. Yeah. You always think about it as being like a civilized war. And then you think like, if I think about Vietnam, that's when I think about people going like crazy in the jungle and raping people and setting villages on fire and murdering people who they're not supposed to be murdering. But you don't have that same context or that mental image, I guess, at least for me, of soldiers going nutso as for the Revolutionary War as you would for like Vietnam. So I thought that was really interesting, and sort of like Pavane, it made me want to read more. But not the book that I read when we did Trudeau, because I'm still mad at that book because it told me fucking nothing about nothing. I'm so angry at it. I'm so mad. It is like 400 pages. There's words in there. The words taught me nothing. I bought a whole book about patriotism. I still haven't read it because I'm still a little bit traumatized about that Trudeau movie and how all over the place it was. And it just made me feel bad for Margaret. That's all I got out of that. None of the history, none of the understanding about the politics and like why Ontario's premier was doing things and the premier of Alberta was doing other things. I got nothing except people are mean to Margaret Trudeau and they're calling her a whore. And I don't think they should do that. That's not very nice. Like, that's all I got. That's all I learned.
I think that's an important piece of information.
Yeah.
That's good history.
I like history, but for whatever reason, like none of it ever stays in my head except for the dumb pop culture shit. Like none of the important stuff. None of the whys and the stuff that leads to other things, which, seeing as we're living through a moment of history that I feel like people will one day ask us questions about, I wish I were better at that. Maybe I should write some things down. you know, for the
for posterity.
Yeah. Well, you know when you have like the
oh yeah, you want to be a first-hand account.
Yeah. When the videographers come to talk to you when you're 90, and they're like, "Hey, you lived through Trump 1, Trump 2, and the royal kingdom of Trump. Can you tell us? Can you tell us what it was like?" It would be good maybe for me to have some notes or like some news articles like saved in a little folder under my bed where the Gestapo can't get it and burn it. But for whatever reason, I can't. I'm like, none of it stays. But dumb pop culture shit, like, did you hear Margaret Trudeau might have been having an affair with the Rolling Stones? That stays. That's up here. That has a space in my head. That's not fair. That there could be facts up at that spot. There could be math. It's all gone. It's all gone. It's just Margaret Trudeau and the Rolling Stones. It's just fucking awful.
And maybe Fidel Castro.
And maybe Fidel Castro. Maybe Castro really Justin's dad, which I would love so much.
That's the one that stuck around for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, I will say that like I didn't believe that until you showed me the two pictures, and I went, "Oh, okay,
yeah.
all right, point taken." Anyway, history is complicated and dark, and I guess everyone's been raping each other since time immemorial, which is a bummer.
You know what? This was better than Deadly Harvest. I know it's around the same time as he did Deadly Harvest. So he got better. He didn't get his hair cut, but that's okay. We don't all get our haircuts very often.
The haircut is so fucking funny to me because there are.
It's his littlest hobo haircut.
It is his little. Yes, it is. It's his late 70s, early 80s haircut. And my favorite part of this is they make a big deal about Hannah having cut her hair to pass as a man, and I'm like, in what world do you pass as a man, lady? But like, whatever. But she's like, yes, I had to cut my long hair, and I'm like, well, okay, now you have your hair down to your shoulder. It's not. It could be shorter.
It's the same year. Deadly Harvest is 1977. Yeah.
So it's like she's like making a big deal about it, and about her hair and how it should be longer, but really it's only to her shoulder because she had to cut it to pretend to be a man to sneak around and have freedom. Blah 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 blah. So they make all this big deal about her hair, and then her mother pops in and has like a period appropriate little old lady bonnet on. So like they're making an effort and they're talking about hair and there's a focus on hair. And then Ger shows up and he's like, hey, I'm 1970s boy band poster boy. What up with you? And it's like, you guys, I know I complained about all the bad wigs you put him in. You could have found something. You could have put him in a stupid hat. You could have pinned
one his little hanky hat. Where he ties the corner of his hanky.
Yes. Or you could have pinned one of the stupid fake ponytails to the back of his head like you did in every other Forever Night episode to be like, no, here, it is the past. He has long hair. Look at the little ribbon. Like you could have done that. You could have fucking done that. You could have pinned the little skunk tail to him and I would have been like, yes, period appropriate. But no, they're like, I don't know, man. We're not paying him enough to put a wig on him or do shit with him. Just come here and be a shitty American that we fucking hate. He's like, aye, chief. This is the second time, by the way, that he's an American in a program talking about Americans escaping to Canada. Did you get that? In the Campbells, it was the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Except there, he's an American who flees to Canada. But here, he's a fucking American who has to stay in America. Boo. Boo. Bad choice. Wrong choice. History has proven.
I mean, am I going to argue? I'm not going to argue.
History has proven that you made the wrong choice. But I just think it's funny that, like, Ger's natural speaking voice is not an American accent. It's not even really a Canadian accent. It's got that Welsh musicality to it. But
it's him. It's him. I have no clue.
It's him as him, and I love that he keeps getting told to play American, and I'm like, come on, bro, sir,
so close and yet so far. He'll fake it for a little bit, and then he'll ooh one of his O's, and you're like, oh, there it is.
It comes back.
Yeah.
That Welsh musicality that flows through his soul just comes purring on out, and I'm like, sir, your voice is not ugly enough to be a generic American accent. Let's be honest. You gotta dirty it up a little. You gotta go full cube 2 : hypercube. If I don't reference that movie once an episode, I get real sad because which I am still trying to get my hands on the Italian version, Il Cubo.
Il Cubo.
Oh, dear. Do you have any rating thoughts on the Loyalists, other than that neither of us likes it? It's too close to our current reality, and we're a little bummed about it.
I'm gonna have to go NA again because this is still such early days Ger.
Yeah,
this is Deadly Harvest Ger. He's like baby Ger. He's still young, dumb, and full of cum, which is I think how we described him when we did the Deadly Harvest.
It is in fact his second role where he is credited as Gary Davies,
yeah.
Which makes me sad. It really bums me out. Because
I love that at a certain point he was like, fuck it.
It's Geraint.
Learn how to spell it.
You're never going to be able to pronounce it, but you can at least spell it. Yeah.
And then is it Bury Me in Niagara where it's with a J?
Geraint. Yeah. Oh,
Geraint Davies.
There's wrong. And then there's like a left turn off a cliff. And that's where Geraint goes in my pile of why.
Is that Bury Me in Niagara?
Yes.
Bury Me in Niagara?
Also
or is
known as
it
Ghost Mom. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because we did a bunch of TV movies and they all kind of run together.
For whatever reason, Ghost Mom sticks out in my head just because of how truly insane that movie is. Which, if you notice behind me, 2 versions of that. 2 versions of this garbage movie. I have the VHS, which is, I think, there, and I have the DVD. One of which is Bury Me in Niagara, and one of which is Ghost Mom. And I think the DVD is still mint in box. It's still sealed up in the plastic for its protection and mine.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, garbage movie. I love that garbage movie so much. It is so dumb. It is so fucking dumb. Just his ghost mother, Mrs. Archie Bunker, cock blocking him from beyond the grave. I feel like if we had to describe literally any of the properties that we've ever seen him in, other than maybe Forever Night, to a stranger, they'd be like, no, that's not a movie that happened. That was never made.
No.
That can't be real.
Anyway, then there were ninjas and they were coming after this Ruby. And then his mom died and she started haunting him. Specifically to keep him from having sex.
Wasn't there a ruby, but inside a big turdy looking rock? Didn't that happen?
No, they make a rock. They put it in the kiln.
Yes.
And then she gets it and she's holding it when she dies. And they're like, oh my God, is that her lucky rock? And he's like, what the fuck? No. And he takes it. And then ninjas chase him. And then at a certain point, we kind of forget it exists. And then he ends up going up and finding Bernie Barons.
Yeah. His real father.
And being like, wait, are you my dad? And he's like, oh, what is that rock she's holding? Because remember, in the grave, she's holding the rock.
Yes. Where her body is, in the back of an ice cream truck.
I can't believe I remember all of this shit about this movie. I had dumped it until this very moment. My brain was like, okay, well, then there's that ruby that they put in the...
It imprints on the soul.
Kiln.
It's part of you now. Congrats.
Yeah. And then he just takes it out of her dead hand and crushes it. And he's like, oh, it's the ruby of... It can solve my magical mystery. And they're like, yay.
Oh, and then you forgot the part where his mother invents bullet time from the Matrix. It stops him from getting killed.
Yes, to save his life.
Because a shitty preteen angel in heaven was guilting her about her mom guilt.
Yeah.
Who might have been a relation of hers somehow, or might have just been a rando teen angel. I don't really remember.
Oh, it was somebody who had committed suicide. It was a relative who had killed themselves.
Really? I totally forgot that the teen boy killed himself. Oh. R.I.P. teen boy.
I'm almost positive because Ger is like, where is that kid? And they're like, oh yeah, he's gone. I don't know. No. Anyway, I think the only characteristic in the Loyalist is when he's he goes in for the hug, and instead of going like a normal person, he sits down on a moderately short piece of furniture and then face plants in her breast instead of doing an actual hug.
Yes. Oh, I'm crying a little bit.
He was like, the script just said hug. It didn't say how. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, please get off my chest.
What can I do to get her to stay? I know. Motorboat. And they're like, is that historically accurate? And he's like, are you saying it's not?
Men have loved breast forever.
Man has been motorboating women since the beginning of time.
One would argue it is the most historically accurate.
He's going to send us a cease and desist.
Well, I think that's probably as much as these two things needed to be discussed.
Probably. Yeah. They're both going to be on the YouTube page. They're both going to make you feel real weird. Go learn about Canadian history and go read about boys molesting each other in the woods, maybe?
No.
I don't know. You do you. You do what you're going to do. All right? We're not going to rate these.
You figure out how you want to interact with this shit.
Until next time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.